Okay, so this is episode 11 of the Poison type only playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. We left off in episode 10. This is episode 11. We left off in Fuchsia City. So yeah, we took on Koga, which actually was kind of difficult in the end. Very dramatic. And yeah, we checked out the Safari Zone. So I'm just going to run to the Pokemon Center, if I can reach it. Because I think I have a bunch of cash. And yeah, I probably need to sort out my inventory. So yeah, in this episode, I believe we will be traveling east and just taking on some of the trainers along the way until we reach Lavender Town, I think. And yeah, at that point we should be able to, although I think I probably could now, but I want to take on those trainers. But yeah, we will be surfing to the Cinnabar Islands, I think. Just going to check my trusty guide. Seafoam Islands. And then later on there's Cinnabar Island. Okay. So there will be a water section. That's kind of when you know you're in the business end of the game, right? When you reach the water sections. Right, what don't I need? Let's see. I need the Poke Flute. Don't need the Good Rod. I think you get the Super Rod in the next part of the game anyway. Store the rare candy. Let's save those for the Elite Four. Okay, I'm just going to check what those TMs are. Then we can check up on my team, which I think is quite strong at this point. Feeling confident enough. Okay, double team. I don't think I need that. Skull Bash. Interesting. I don't need that, so I'll keep the HMs, which I think is Strength and Fly, maybe? Or did I get Surf? I think I got Surf, right? I need to check that. Alright, let's store these TMs, make some space. Just a small bit of housekeeping before we set off on a kind of a mini adventure along these routes. Alright, what HMs do I have? HM4, Strength. HM3 is Surf, okay. And I think I did teach Surf to... Yeah, yeah I did, okay. Alright, yeah, so the team, Venonat is the newest addition. It's actually been a while since I've played, right? Been 2 weeks, so I have to kind of refresh. So yeah, Venonat level 25, we will be getting Venom Moth. Vileplume needs to catch up a little bit. So let's focus on Vileplume. But yeah, I'm happy with this team. I think it's quite strong. The Nido evolutions are just overpowered really, but... Alright, so let's head to the... where should I go? Yeah, the Pokemart here, I guess. Just to spend some cash. Yeah, because if I hold on to all that cash... I mean, you could say just hold on to it until the Elite Four and then you can stock up, but... if I lose a big battle, if I lose a gym fight, or a gym battle, I could lose half of that cash. So it's kind of wise to invest it. I wish they had like a bank you could just store all your cash. Right, what'll I buy? I mean, Super Repels are always handy. Let's buy 10 of those. So you can stack items in your inventory. Let's buy 10 revives. And let's see. Hyper potions, maybe? Let's buy 10 of those as well. Let's see. Let me check, what do I have? Oh, I have 10 great balls? Oh my god. Did I just buy 10 great balls? I don't think I did, right? I think I did. Instead of oh no, yeah I did. I bought 10 great balls instead of hyper potions. Alright, okay. That's fine. Alright. That's fine. So I'm happy enough now that I won't lose too much money, or like at least I've invested it. So 18 revives, 16 super repels, 12 hyper potions, and 10 great balls. I mean, I could sell them, but let's just keep them. Alright, so my guide suggests that I go to Lavender Town now and travel south along the route, but I think you can go backwards. I think you can go east here to Route 15 and kind of go backwards along the way, which I think is probably what you're supposed to do. Seeing as you're in Fuchsia now, why would you not go to your immediate right? But let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure how far I'll get along this route, but however far I do get, I'll timestamp it. So yeah, I think one of Oak's aids is here, although I won't be able to get any prize because I don't think I've caught. You need to catch 30 Pokemon. Or is it 50? I didn't even read that. Yeah, 50. You caught only 16, so I think he gives you the XP share. Let me just read that. Share the wealth. Yeah, XP all. Distributes XP to all Pokemon in your party, whether they've battled or not. But reduces the number of points for those that do. Interesting. I didn't know XP all was even a thing. I just assumed XP share was the item. Okay, interesting. Right, so this is Route 15. And this will lead us on to Route 14. So yeah, I'm kind of going backwards here, but it's fine. So yeah, you'll go 14, 13, then you'll reach the Snorlax, then you'll be on 12, 11, and then back to Lavender. So I think, yeah, this is just a matter of clearing. It's just for XP at this point, isn't it? There's no key items or anything here, but let's make it back to Lavender. Get some XP, and then we can surf to the Seafoam Islands. Yeah, I mean, why not? So yeah, I need to level up Vileplume anyway. But yeah, I wasn't actually going to record Pokemon this evening, and then I thought, do you know what, it's been a while, and let's get one more in before the end of the year. Just making sure I'm recording. Having said that, yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, I don't think there's much left in the game, really. I mean, we'll take on the islands, and then there's a few more gyms, I think. That was one thing I didn't figure out, actually. How many badges do I have? I'll have to go back and look at my episode videos and see how many gyms I mentioned. Alright, let's see. What can we do here? Not much. Alright, so we're paralyzed. Yeah, this is always going to be an awkward battle because we are the same type, grass poison. So yeah, it won't be blockbuster stuff, I don't think, in this episode, but I guess we will see some Pokemon level up above 40. We might see Venomoth, maybe, or maybe not. I might have to work on that later on. But yeah, so just covering our tracks, tracking back. There's a section of Ruby that's a bit like this. You have to kind of loop back around the map, and then you kind of progress towards the end stages. It's kind of interesting. You can spot the formula here and there in the area. Like, this is Gen 1, obviously. You can see the road map they've used, or the structure of the map. Yeah, this is an awkward fight. These are all the same type as me. Yeah, I just have to rely on Cut here. Let's try Sleep Powder. The one thing I will say is that Gen 1, there's a lot of trainers, right? Along these routes. So plenty of opportunity to farm XP, but it can be a lot. So there may be sections where I'll take on maybe some of them, you know, maybe 3 out of every 5 or something. Let's see. I think it's... No, Antidote is for poisoning, right? Alright. Let's go back. I'm just going to heal Vileplume real quick. Just kind of got unlucky there that I got Grass Poison on the first trainer. Alright, let's see. Bit of an awkward track back to heal. So yeah, I might just need to take my chances and use whatever Pokemon I have to go forward, because yeah, it's a bit of an awkward track back. Actually, yeah, I had a bit of a cold actually over Christmas, so not sure if that's going to come true on the mic. It might do. Slight hoarseness, perhaps. Should be fine. But yeah, I suppose I'm not really like, oh, new year, new ideas, new stuff, you know. But yeah, we will be looking forward, I guess, to more Pokemon content once Yellow wraps up. But there's still plenty of gaming to do here. Still work to do. So let's see, what do we get here? Hopefully these are mountaineers or rock climbers who have rock Pokemon. Or did he say bird type? Or flying type? That's not good. That's actually what we don't need. See, this is where, yeah, grass Pokemon, they're not great. They're not as universal as some of the others. Let's see. Who has the electric move? I think it's... Is it Nidoqueen? I mean, this always happens. You get one Pokemon that's really like a utility Pokemon. They just have like 4 really like useful moves against all different types, and they kind of become the front runner. And that's kind of happening with the Nido evolutions. They're just too versatile. Like, they make Vileplume kind of redundant, because Vileplume's only going to be good against water, rock, and that's it, pretty much. I mean, there's probably something else it's going to be good against, right? I'm definitely missing something there. So grass, ground as well. So water, rock, and ground. Let's see. I just want to check real quick. Ground is going to be... Of course, yeah, it does 0 damage against flying. I just want to double check that. That makes sense, right? Yeah, I just wasn't sure there whether Earthquake would do any damage. Not that I was going to use it, I was just curious. Yeah, these are all flying type. I have to switch out Vileplume again. Oh, Drio, that's cool. Let's see. So what is effective against flying? Electric, ice, and rock. But yeah, I guess the downside of Gen 1 for me is that there's moments where things are very dramatic and interesting, like the gym battles and when you meet Jesse and James and some of the Team Rocket stuff. And then there's other stretches that are just a little bit more... God, like, yeah, they're just trainers, you know, along a route. And there's a lot of that. Although I guess, like, that's what hindsight... If this was the first Pokemon game you've played, and it was the first, well, I suppose Blue version would have been the first one I played, but Gen 1, it still would have felt very immersive, right? Because you wouldn't have experienced Gen 2 or 3, so you have to keep it in perspective as well. But I think going back to Gen 1 is difficult, having experienced 2 and 3, because they're so well refined, and they just seem like more competent games in general, you know, more immersive. So it's difficult to go back to Gen 1. It's more of an arcadey experience, or not an arcadey experience, it's just more rudimentary, I guess, which makes sense. It's the first entry in the series. Let's see, I don't even know what Pokemon these trainers will have, but let's keep Vileplume. Alright, what have we got? Gloom. Alright, so it's another grass versus grass encounter. Yeah, this should be no problem. So yeah, I actually picked up, I got a Steam gift card for Christmas, and I actually picked up, there's a winter sale, Steam sale. The games are dirt cheap, really, when you think about it. So I picked up Duke Nukem 3D Anniversary Edition, which is the 20-year anniversary. Oh my god, Vileplume is really struggling here. But yeah, I picked up Duke Nukem 3D. What else did I pick up? I picked up the Atari 50th Anniversary Celebration Collection thing, which is like a kind of a documentary with over 100 playable games you can also play, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, Vileplume is just not it at the moment. And yeah, what else did I picked up one more game. Let me just check. I cannot remember what the game was. Duke Nukem, Atari, and just bear with me for a moment here. It's gonna bug me that I can't remember that. It was Doom 64. Yeah, the Doom game on the N64. The PC version, obviously. I thought it might be cool to check out at some point. See, like I've been playing a lot of classic Doom games, like based on Doom 1 and Doom 2. So it would be nice to play one that's a little bit more modern, but still classic, right? So I think Doom 64 fits that really, really nicely. And yeah, I've been meaning to check out Duke Nukem for a while now. And then obviously with the Atari collection, which is a really nice package, actually. The menus and stuff are really nice. It's celebrating 50 years of Atari. And it kind of guides you through like the early stages and the various different eras and console wars and all that type of thing. So I think you watch episodes of the documentary or clips, and then you get an opportunity to maybe play the games that they're talking about and stuff like that. But you can also just browse the full library of games featured and play them anytime. So it's not like an interactive documentary thing all the time. You choose what way you want to do it. So yeah, I plan to check out some random Atari games from all different eras, 70s, 80s, 90s, and yeah, just to demo some retro arcade games. And yeah, I'll continue to check out Commodore 64 games as well. So it's a new branch of the channel I'm kind of working on, retro arcade stuff. So yeah, C64. Well, yeah, retro arcade and retro console, right? Because C64 is technically a home computer. But yeah, a lot of the games would be they're kind of arcade style games, right? Once you go back pre-NES. But yeah, so that's kind of something I'm working on. So I thought it was reduced to like €15, which I guess is like $20 or something. But yeah, something I wouldn't ordinarily go out of my way to purchase, but getting it on PC is really nice because it's just you've over 100 arcade games to check out. Really, really cool. So I can just record them on OBS, and it's very seamless. And yes, we can check out all different Atari consoles and just games that you wouldn't normally come across, right? Alright, what are these guys going to have? Let's see. I'm going to send out Nido King. But you know what, I'm just going to run back real quick and heal Vileplume again. And I think I'm going to have to keep Vileplume benched until we actually, until we need it, because, yeah, until I come up against like Rock type or something. So yeah, those are the games that that are in the queue for the new year. Doom 64, Duke Nukem 3D, and yeah, full library of Atari games. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. No. My cat was coming into the room. So welcome, cat, on stream. Okay. Okay, we are fully healed. I'm just going to pause it for 1 second. I probably should be using the bicycle more. Alright, yeah, so let's see if we can reach... I mean, already there's quite a lot of trainers. I'm just going to check my trusty overworld map. Alright, so there's 2, 3, 4... Oh my god. It's quite a few. So let's see... I don't think we're going to make Lavender Town in this episode. So I'm going to have to do a two-parter, I think, for this big long series of routes. Let's see if we can clear 15 and 14, I think, at least. I mean, it'll be nice to get all of my main Pokemon above 40. And yeah, because I'm going like backwards here, I wonder if the trainers are going to get progressively easier or harder. I'm not sure. I think easier, right? Wow, that is a wild animation for Surf. Kind of needlessly dramatic, and colourful. But yeah, a strong move. Alright, Nidoking hits level 40. But yeah, hopefully we encounter some cool Pokemon along the way so I can make a decent thumbnail. I mean, there's been a lot of coughings and gloom and that type of thing, so nice, 1 tick of health. I mean, I guess if I had Fly, I could fly back to the Pokemon Center. Fairly handy. Let's use Golbat maybe. I mean, I could be using Venonat as well. Level 25. That seems kind of doable. But yeah, I was actually looking at some of the other Pokemon titles on the handheld systems. I think Sun and Moon is quite cheap to buy, so that could be interesting. I know they're kind of further on from Pearl, Gen 4, which was my next move, but I mean, I could just drop into a random, like Pokemon Sun or Moon as well. That could be interesting. If anybody has any experience, I guess, playing those games. Like, how far along the timeline are... let's see. Right, so 4th generation is Diamond and Pearl. 5th generation is Black and White and Black and White 2. Then you've X and Y. Okay, Sun and Moon is on the 3DS. Right, so I don't know if that'll work on a PC. Interesting. I'll have to check what gens you can actually emulate. Let's see, I'm just going to keep... Maybe I'll just keep Golbat here. I think X and Y is also on 3DS. So many hits to kill this coughing. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, X and Y is 3DS as well. Black and White is on the DS. See if Diamond and Pearl and Black and White on the DS. Let's try Venonat. Yeah, actually Venonat might hold his own here. Nice, okay, that kind of worked. Alright, let's put Venonat up front here. I think these trainers might have grass, in which case would be ideal for confusion. But yeah, I guess after I play this game, I've played Gen 1, 2 and 3 on the channel. I'm kind of open then to checking out any gen after that I can emulate successfully. So, oh, that could be super effective. Yes, it is. Alright, we're gonna have to switch out here. But yeah, I'm not sure how 3DS works on PC. Is that something you can emulate? I'm sure you can, but do you need the touch functionality somehow? By using your mouse or something? I'm not sure. Could be a bit awkward. Because at the moment I'm using a USB retro controller, Sega Mega Drive, so I mean that works pretty seamlessly. Alright, nice. Nidoqueen level 42. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to check my overworld map. See how many trainers. So there's one more. There's one more just down here, and then we move on to the next route. So maybe I'll take on the one remaining trainer here. Oh, never mind. I didn't realize she was still in play. Okay, Beauty wants to fight. See, my voice is kind of going now, but I'm going to persist. Let's swap out for Nidoqueen again. Yeah, see, Pokemon is actually the most difficult to record because the episodes are longer than my usual videos. So it can strain your voice a little bit. But let's try and hit the hour mark at least in this episode. Wait, Wigglytuff. Let's just keep Nidoqueen. So another thing I've been doing on the channel as well is sorting out my playlists. So the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of leaning towards just having playlists per system. So you can check out NES, you can check out Game Boy, you can check out Commodore 64, PS1, PS2 era, and then kind of PC and indie games get their own playlist. See, what I was doing was just lumping homebrews, ROMs, etc. into the same playlist under the banner of indie games. But like, the more I've learned about these games and stuff, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I mean, homebrews are, they're games made to play on, or to be emulated on the original system, right? So you can play a Game Boy homebrew ROM on an actual Game Boy if you have an SD card thing, an SD cart, or a cart that reads SD cards. Whereas an indie game in the style of a Game Boy game, or using the same graphics and appearance as a Game Boy game, is not quite the same thing as a homebrew. It's just an indie game in that style. So they deserve different categories, kind of. And then obviously there are homebrews for Commodore 64, but it's a kind of a niche system. At least on my channel, it's a niche system. It's something I haven't checked out extensively, so it kind of deserves its own playlist too, right? But then I suppose I don't want to have too many playlists. It kind of loses its purpose then, because you might as well just flick through my videos at that point. But yeah, I think for homebrews that are made for specific systems, they deserve a distinct playlist. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, and then I'll keep a kind of a larger playlist for indie PC games, and I won't discern or distinguish between them. They're just going to be indie PC games. Once they're on PC, that's what they are, regardless of their style or that type of thing. But if it's a ROM, or if it's designed to be emulated on the original system, I think that could be could be better to have it could be more useful to have those in a separate playlist. And then also, like, I know it sounds kind of niche or nerdy, or like it's kind of a behind the scenes take, but like, when I'm designing thumbnails, I like to have some uniformity between the systems and the fonts I use and stuff, so it kind of helps me as well to just batch edit things as well when I can see them in a singular playlist. They say, okay, these are my Commodore 64 games, and I can see all the thumbnails together and see how that looks, and etc. It's kind of an aesthetic thing that I enjoy. So yeah, anyway, that's just kind of random behind the scenes stuff. Right, so we've a left and a right here. There is a patch of grass up here. What Pokemon are available? So let's see, I think it's Route 14. So you can catch, wow, level 30. You can get Weeping Bell. Oh, you can get a Wild Venomoth here. It's only 1% rate though. Okay, you can get Weeping Bell, that's interesting. Okay, let's just focus on the task at hand first. So, just 2 trainers left and right. Let's take on this guy and then go right. I'm not going to take on all 5. So yeah, we've just headed on to Route 14 at this point. I must use Psywave. I can't quite remember what it does. But yeah, it was fun checking out some Christmas games on the Pico 8 fantasy console. It's always nice to do a Christmas themed video. Does this do anything? Oh yeah, it does. But yeah, I checked out kind of, 2 very simple Christmas mini games. They kind of went down well. Got a few likes. I think the shorts did quite well too. The Commodore 64 stuff is quite popular as well, so I'm going to see if I can replicate that with a follow-up gameplay very soon. And yeah, so it's all kind of going well. Aiming for that 500 subscriber mark. I'm confident that we'll hit it this year, like in 2026. It seems to be kind of gradually rising. Definitely shorts are the main driver of that. But yeah, anyway, I'm not too concerned. I still kind of have the same fun recording and uploading videos as I did when I had 50 subscribers, and it'll be the same if I ever reach 5,000, you know, or 50,000. It'll still be just me kind of rambling and being enthusiastic about retro games and retro tech, and just in general lightly pushing back against the kind of unrelenting tide of AI and yeah, just I don't know. I don't like the way tech and media is going. I don't like the direction it's headed in, and yeah, that's why I enjoy retro games and retro tech. Gives you a way to kind of just lightly push back against it as well. Even just video games in general, I just don't like. I don't know. It's all very. The scale of things has become so massive. Everything is so cinematic and experiential, and there's so many games, and there's so much hype, and there's so many trends, and there's so many things to keep track of. For me, it's easier to go backwards because it's static. It's still the period from the 80s to the mid 2000s. It's solidified. Like, that's an archive of stuff you can you can return to, check out for as long as you want, and at your own pace, and nerd out about it, and then continue on, and there's no worries. You're not going to miss anything. You're not going to, it suits me so much better. I find it really difficult to jump on that hype train. I get dizzy, man. I just can't do it. I consume media at a far more pedestrian pace than is encouraged and promoted these days. So I refuse to play along. So I'll buy some CDs, I'll play some Pokemon, I'll check out some mini games, I'll check out some homebrews, and just enjoy it and at my own pace, and just I'm not spending €70 every time a new hyped game is released, and I just don't have the attention span for that, really, which is probably a symptom of the times as well. But having said that, I'll play this for an hour and a half. No problem. I understand it, it's familiar. I don't have to learn a bunch of new mechanics and lore and everything else. There's only so much like RAM or like memory my brain has, and I can't take on a new narrative and new lore and new worlds every 6 or 7 weeks to play a AAA game. I can't do it, and actually I've kind of burned out totally. I just don't play any new games at all. Let's see, what can I do here? Like, I have my PS5 and I've barely used it. I play one survival horror game like here now and then. I played through like Last of Us 1 and 2, and then I have the Callisto Protocol that I'm kind of slowly getting through as well. But the only thing I play Call of Duty just as a kind of something to unwind and turn my brain off, usually late at night. I just really enjoy kind of fast-paced shooters. And Apex Legends sometimes as well. Like, these are free to play. No financial investment. There's I don't feel obliged to dedicate X amount of time to them. Like, if I paid €70 for Elden Ring, like, I would feel compelled to put in 60-70 hours, and it's like I just don't have it to give. It's strange. I think we live in a strange time, and that's why I think retro has been back for so long now, because it's not really about nostalgia anymore. I think it's like a way of, this will sound very kind of, I don't know what, sentimental or something, but it's like a way of life. It's just more, I don't know, tactile. It's more, you can see the human DNA of what you're playing, right? It's flawed, it's not perfect, it's rudimentary, there's certain limitations. It's not, it's like somebody mentioned on a podcast. I listened to the completely unnecessary podcast. It's by Pat Contry and Ian Ferguson. They cover retro gaming, and one of them mentioned, I think it was Ian, mentioned that I don't want to be taken out of my current reality into a new one in the game. I want a game to be I want a video game to be a video game, something I can pick up and drop down when if I have something else to do, and enjoy it at my own pace. I don't want to be like immersed in this whole new world and reality and etc. I think cinema kind of does that for us already, and for a long time I felt that gaming has gotten too close to cinema in terms of the scope of the narrative and the visuals. But yeah, that's just me rambling about like why I'm kind of enthusiastic about retro stuff. But that is really why. It's just, I think media has gotten too, I'm not sure. It's not as enjoyable as it once was. As I mentioned, the authorship. That's the word I'm looking for. The human thumbprint or handprint, or the authorship. That people have worked on this, they've written this, they've poured their heart and soul into this, and it's human creation. That's and any human creation, by the way, should be inherently flawed, because we are indeed not perfect. So when something feels too perfect, like a AAA title these days or something, it just, for me, it doesn't feel like a video game anymore. It feels like an interactive movie, cinematic experience, and I think it's something different. I think we've entered into a different vibe with console games. And yeah, like one of the games I want to play, I seen an advertisement for it, was the new Terminator game, Terminator 2D, No Fate. That's something I can get on board with. Let's see. Let's put Vileplume out again, and there are 2 trainers here. I'm just going to take them on for the XP. Why not? But yeah, it's been great going back to the Commodore to learn about that, and to learn about the emulation of it, and it's a whole library of games I'm not familiar with. And again, games you can pick up for 10 or 15 minutes. You don't have to suspend your whole life just to understand a narrative and a big story, and like watching a movie almost. It's like, it's an arcade game. You're supposed to pick it up, have some fun for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then put it down again. And you might come back if you want a high score, I think movies are slightly different. I think movies can still be great. Movies are more dynamic, I think, and less constrained by time periods. I think gaming has more of a solid trajectory of graphics and scope, whereas I think movies can kind of move back and forth, and like a movie could come out today that could be reminiscent of a 90s movie or a 50s movie, or it's much more fluid and dynamic of an industry. So that's why I think movies, you can I'm not against the current industry, for example, in the same way I would be critical of video games. I think it's slightly different. I think video games are just follow more trends. Actually, maybe it's just where I'm looking. I think it all depends where you're looking. Like with movies, if you look for cinema outside of the mainstream, outside of what's showing in the theatre, as they would say in the States, for more art house stuff and whatever, you will find different paces of narratives. You will find different themes being explored. It's not all about cozy resolutions and stuff like that. So, and the same with video games. If you look in indie spaces, if you look on itch, if you look on Steam, you will find unconventional and unorthodox narratives and styles and mechanics. So yeah, I guess all I'm trying to say is you need to know where to look, right? But it takes a long time to sift through stuff. Nice, okay. Vileplume is slowly but surely farming XP here. So far I haven't come across a Pokemon that is worthy of the thumbnail, and by that I mean something novel that we haven't really seen. Maybe like a Jolteon or something would be cool, although I think I featured Jolteon already. Alright, that's enough rambling for a second, right? So, alright, so let's keep Vileplume and progress. I'm just going to check if there's any hidden items here, maybe. There's not. Right, so let's see, if I progress through this next section, there's quite a lot of trainers. But we can do it. I'm not going to take them all on, but I can take on like 3 or 4 of them. And yeah, that should be a nice point to conclude the episode, because that will bring me to, let me just check. That'll bring me along the, if you think of these routes as a reverse L shape, so this is all along the bottom, and then once I reach the end of this section, you'll be travelling north to Lavender. So yeah, I'll save that for the next episode. Right, so we've 2 guys here. So yeah, in the next episode, I think, yeah, I'll only have a short way to go to Lavender Town. Actually, I might have time at the end of this episode. Let's see what way we are, but yeah, it'll be about using Surf then to check out the island areas and the water sections. Where again, there'll be a few more trainers in the water. I think I'm just looking at the map. I was on the SSN already, right? I think I missed a section. Just randomly thought of that. This is going to be a bird trainer as well, right? Yeah, there's so many bird trainers here. What's up with that? I just want to get Vileplume to level 40 and I'll feel more comfortable. Oh man, hit 4 times. Or 5? No, 4. Okay, made short work of that Pokemon. Fearow. Okay, trashing about. Okay, just 1 tick of health. Okay, nice. So at least I'm leveling up. Like this is quite useful, even though it's kind of mundane, but it's useful. Alright, let's track our progress through this section. So, if you check out the map, it's a little bit maze-like, so you need to go... You need to go right. So let's go right and take on all the trainers on the right-hand side. So that will skip 2. So let's try and do that. There's no need to take on everybody here. Can I go this way? No, you have to go... Oh well, if I trigger him... Yeah, let's go this way. Yeah, these are such awkward opponents for for Vileplume. I could just use the one of the fishing rods, I guess, to get some water Pokemon. Oh, I have to be close to level 40, surely. Nice. Okay, that's at least we've achieved that in the episode, so I'm happy with that. I think that's everybody above 40, right? Could be wrong about... yeah, I don't know. Could be wrong about that, but... Alright, so we do have to take on this guy. Yeah, okay. Let's heal Venonat, at least. So yeah, everyone's above 40 apart from Fenonat. Alright, this is not going to it. There's so many flying type. Right, so... I mean, I guess back to Nidoqueen. So yeah, once you clear this short section, there's a kind. Look at the amount of. There's 5 Pidgeys. Oh my god, and Spearows. Yeah, so there's a short grassy section, so we will at least get that far. I mean, I guess this is, excuse me, this is trying to test your endurance as well, right? In terms of taking on trainer after trainer and seeing how your team fares out. It's a little bit like the Elite Four, right? If you know, assuming you don't return to the Pokemon Center. So yeah, there are 2 items. So if I... No, that's going to block the route. So you can go this way. Alright, yeah, so if I go this way... Oh wait, you can't reach the items that I'm talking about. I think you need to surf to get them. Oh no, never mind. They're in the wall. Oh, yet more flying type. Oh my god. I mean, Pidgeotto might be the thumbnail at this point. Okay, 43. Alright, yeah, so there's kind of a trick you have to do here to make sure you don't block the item. Right, so there's one down here, I think. Oh no, there's not. Where is it? What's here? Alright, calcium. Alright, yeah, so when you go down here, if you trigger this guy in the wrong area, he'd actually block the path, right? So how do I do this? Like this? Yeah, that's it. Although maybe not. I'll need to look at that again, but I think he can definitely block the path if you trigger the encounter in the wrong way. Yeah, some of these battles are tedious at times, but what can you do? I think I'm almost through this section, so... where's the item? I think it's in the tree. Ah, yes, it is. Oh, actually, PP up. What do I need it for? Thunderbolt, maybe? Actually, Earthquake. So it should be on 11 now, right? Oh, 12, okay. Nice, I'll take it. So yeah, if he was here, it would be blocked, actually. Interesting. Right, how do I get the hell out of here? So if I pass the girl, and then... Alright. Just so many trainers. Let me guess, flying type. Oh no, Rattata, okay. Okay, nice. That was actually a decent win there. Vulpix, alright. This could be a cool thumbnail. Fire type. Was it Nidoking has Surf? So yeah, Vulpix, that's the coolest Pokemon we've encountered on this route. Oh, let's just do it. Let's just do it. There might be an interesting Pokemon. Clefairy, okay. I guess Nidoqueen. Okay, we are asleep. This could be a tricky battle, actually. Alright, never mind. That was fine. There's actually not that many trainers to until we reach. Let's see, until we reach Snorlax. So let's just do that, to be honest. This is not grass, by the way. It's kind of wild. Oh yes, of course. Full team of Pidgeys. I think I'm probably out of Thundershock. Or Thunderbolt, sorry. Thinking of the AC/DC song Thunderstruck? Is that it, yeah? Oh, sorry, Meowth. It would be nice if Confusion, the move Confusion, actually confused more frequently than it does. It only happened once so far. So far in this episode, so. Alright, level 27, not bad. Edging closer to, I think it's 32 when Venonat evolves. But yeah, I didn't learn Leech Life. I don't think it's that important. Just gonna double check that. But yeah, this was a big episode in terms of housekeeping, so it kind of opens the path now to the final stages of the main story. Yeah, Leech Life doesn't do much damage. Okay, bird Pokemon again, of course. Again, that's kind of a downside. I think there's a lot of similar Pokemon, similar trainers, not a lot of variety, although I suppose there are only 151 Pokemon in this game. Oh my god. There's so many trainers. There's 3 trainers in one corner. But thankfully there's only one or two more after this, basically. Oh, finally, I might actually do some damage here. Oh, that's not good. Okay, Vileplume, it's your time to shine. Finally. Actually encountered a water type. So Vileplume could do some damage. Oh, Poliwag. Okay, we might get our thumbnail here. Not Poliwag, but I'm hoping for the third Pokemon to be something interesting. It's going to be a Magikarp or something, watch. Horsey, okay. I mean, Seadra would have been preferable. Alright, okay, well at least Vileplume got some XP. I'll take it. Okay, is there anything in here worth checking out? Okay, I think is this Route 13? Is this Route 12? I mean, this is technically Route 12. I'm just begging for an NPC at this point, who just chats to you, and not battles. Alright, Nidoran. Alright, nice. That's good XP. Okay, we've kind of committed to this this stretch of or this section here, so almost done. This is definitely a trainer. Yeah, for sure. Oh my god, okay. Fisherman. Magikarp. Okay, that has to be the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. 100%. Unless there's a Gyarados, that could be cool. Of course it hurts itself in confusion. Nice. It's actually 2 Magikarps. The sprite design is really something in Pokemon games. I mean, even just for that splash move, Venonat flashes dark and bright, so that's 2 different sprites for Venonat just for Magikarp's move. And then I suppose for every move that has a different animation, you have to make 2. You have to make a different sprite animation for the Pokemon. I mean, it's really crazy if you think about it. The reason I mention it is because I've tried my hand a little bit at designing pixel art and tile sets for Game Boy games. Oh yeah, I don't think I've mentioned that on the channel yet, but I have made some early kind of experimentations, or I've been trying out GB Studio, I think it's called. Yeah, GB Studio, where you can basically develop your own Game Boy games. It's difficult. It's not difficult, but it's a learning curve. And yeah, I've been using Piskel, Piskel, to design some pixel sprites. I actually redesigned this sprite. Can I bring that up? Do I have that? This is a deep cut. If you've watched this far into the episode, now you're going to be rewarded with some behind the scenes shenanigans here. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. So it's going to be in Game Dev 1. Let's see. Do you know, maybe I deleted it. I think I deleted it, you know. Yeah, I think I did. But anyway, maybe I'll share some other time, or I might do a video. But yeah, like I'm hoping to work on, what is this? Alright, never mind. But yeah, I'd love to put together a demo of some sort to show everybody. Some kind of a basic interactive demo where you just kind of move around the screen and maybe interact with an object on the map or on the screen that will, you know, give you some information or something. But yeah, I can see it. Like if I spent full time day after day, I could probably develop a pretty decent Game Boy game, and you can export it as a ROM, and you could play it on an emulator and stuff. Very, very cool. But yeah, I suppose, see, even on this screen, right? I can't remember the exact numbers, 18 by 20 or something. It's made up of tiles, so even that table, that's made up of like maybe 6 different tiles. It's not just one thing you design. You've designed 6 different tiles so you can assemble them in that fashion so it will look like a table. Really wild. Same with the tree and the bookcase and stuff. And then obviously you have your sprite that moves around the screen. All of those have to be designed to a particular size and standard and a certain amount of pixels. And a certain color palette as well. Alright, so here we get the Super Rod, which might not be very useful, seeing as we're limited to poison type Pokemon. Just this guy, I think, and then I think we're clear. don't think we'll make it to Lavender Town because there's so many trainers. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can we do it? Maybe we can do it. I mean, I've come this far, right? Yeah, I mean, I've come this far. Let's make it to Lavender Town. The Pokemon Center. It'll feel like complete, like the adventure is complete. Not so much an adventure, but just backtracking and just covering our ass in terms of it's not even like what am I covering our ass, you know what I mean, covering our tracks to just clear all these routes. Alright, self-destruct. So it still does full... Alright, it was a critical hit. I was going to say, does it still do full HP damage even if it's wounded? But anyway. I think it does. I think self-destruct does a set amount. Okay, finally we've reached Snorlax. So yeah, to the west here, we've been there before. That actually goes back to Vermilion. So obviously if you were trying to do the Pokédex, you'd catch Snorlax, but that's not what I'm doing, so we can just run away. Right, there are yet more trainers here. This is definitely a fisherman. Let's just get through this and we will be good to go. But yeah, if you've been following along the playthrough, GG's, thank you for that. Hopefully you enjoy even these more kind of maybe not mundane, but less dramatic and less entertaining episodes. But yeah, it should be queued up for some really interesting episodes with the Seafoam Islands and Cinnabar Island coming up. Now that we've completed this full section, which I wasn't expecting to do in one episode. So yeah, unless I see a cooler Pokemon in these next few and final encounters, Magikarp I think is a fitting... Yeah, that's a fitting Pokemon for the thumbnail for the episode it's been. Bit of a flop. No, it's not a flop, but you get what I mean. It's kind of a filler episode, right? But it's fine. I mean, some people like the more mundane stuff. I've often watched people play like random games, and it could be just flicking through a variety of games or whatever. It doesn't have to be like blockbuster stuff, you know. Okay, let's see. So I think there is an item somewhere here. Okay, you cannot access it yet. There's actually 3 trainers. Let's do this. And finally they are all water type, so that Vileplume can do some damage. So it all paid off in the end. All of those Pidgeys and Rattatas. Now if Vileplume leveled up to 41, that would be a big win. I mean, I don't even think there was much need to backtrack, but it's in the guide, so I just wanted to follow it anyway. Alright, nice. So we did hit 41. Just one more, I think. So you can see the item there, but you need to surf to... Oh wait, I do have surf. I can totally get that. But yeah, it was a good episode. We opened up with some inventory management, so at least I made some space for items. I bought a load of items, kind of stocking up for future battles, and yeah, so it just means if I lose some money, it's not going to be devastating. I mean, this is one of the drawbacks, right, of Gen 1. It's you're 90 minutes in, like it's an hour and a half episode just to clear these routes. But I guess needs must, right, in the 90s. I mean, kids would have been, you know, really enjoying that, you know, to be playing the game for longer. Wait, so can I surf here and get that item? Let me see. Oh, you can, of course. Nice. Alright, payday. Don't need to worry too much about that. I think there is one more item to find, apparently, somewhere up here. Apparently, like here? Oh no, it's inside. Never mind. Alright, so that's Swift. That's that TM. Okay, so we did it. We cleared all of the routes. I think. Didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay, finally, we are in Lavender. Nice. So let's heal up and save the game. So yeah, next episode we will be surfing to the Seafoam Islands and clearing out some water sections. All very exciting stuff. Alright, okay, let's just double save here. So yeah, I'll timestamp those routes. I guess some people might be interested in just what kind of trainers are there and stuff like that. Alright, so that was episode 11 of my Pokemon Yellow playthrough. I'm just going to confirm that that indeed was episode 11. Yeah, the last episode was 10, okay. So yeah, that was episode 11 of my Pokemon Yellow playthrough. Thanks very much for watching, and I will be back again soon with some more Pokemon content. And yeah, have a good, I suppose Christmas is over, but have a good New Year's and all of that. And yeah, thanks very much for liking, commenting and subscribing.